My name is Ethan Carter, 35, a systems engineer working at a mid-sized tech firm in Portland, Oregon, and for the longest time I thought I had it all: a job I loved, a home I had built with my own two hands, and a wife who had stood by me when I had nothing but ambition in my wallet and a dream in my heart. But everything I knew about my marriage unraveled the moment I saw something I wasn't meant to see, something that didn't come from suspicion or snooping, but from pure chance and a curious neighbor's security camera that captured the one scene that changed the course of my life forever. It started months earlier when I received a long overdue promotion, along with a ridiculous bump in salary, and Emily, my wife of 7 years, was over the moon, her reaction emotional, supportive, even seductive, telling me she was proud of me and excited for our future. And it was her idea, not mine, that I take every opportunity at work to prove myself, that I go for overtime, client trips, and late projects. And at first I thought she was being selfless, encouraging me to chase success, telling me, "We can finally save for that beach house, babe, keep pushing." And I did. I pushed harder than ever, sacrificing weekends, skipping dinners, grinding through sleepless nights while she handled the house, the chores, the groceries, and every time I saw her, she smiled like I was her hero, made love to me like she missed me, and kissed me like I was her everything. But there were cracks. I ignored little things like the fact that her phone was suddenly always face down, or the strange perfume I'd smell on her even though she said she hadn't left the house all day, or that one time she claimed to be sick but showed up in a friend's Instagram story at a rooftop cafe, laughing and dressed like she was on a date. But love makes you blind, and I chalked it all up to stress, to her needing space, never suspecting that I was being played like a pawn in my own home. Then came the night. Everything collapsed. Friday, pouring rain. I left work early because the server migration was delayed, and I thought I'd surprise her with sushi and a quiet movie night. Something normal for once, but when I reached home, the door chain was latched from inside, which was odd since Emily knew I was supposed to be working late, and she always left the chain off. So I knocked, called her phone, no answer, just silence, until I heard laughter, muffled voices coming from inside, low, intimate voices. That stopped me cold, and just then my neighbor across the street, Mr. Howard, a retired Marine with a new obsession for home surveillance, stepped out onto his porch, saw me standing confused in the rain, and invited me over, offering a beer and casual conversation while his multi-camera screen flickered inside like something out of a spy movie. And when I told him my door was locked from the inside and asked if his cameras caught anything, just for curiosity's sake, he rewound the footage, and what we saw made my blood turn to ice. It was timestamped 6:42 p.m., barely an hour ago, and the camera clearly captured a silver BMW pulling up in front of my house, a tall, muscular man in a dark leather jacket getting out with a gym bag and knocking at my door, and a few seconds later, Emily opened it wearing the same black silk robe I'd bought her for our anniversary, smiling like she just unwrapped a present, and then she pulled him in by the shirt collar and kissed him, passionately, desperately, right there in front of my house under the soft porch light I installed with my father. And then with one final look down the street, she kicked the door closed behind them, locking the chain, sealing her betrayal with the same hand she'd used to hold mine at the altar. I sat there frozen, watching the screen on repeat, unable to breathe, my stomach twisting in ways I'd never felt before. And Mr. Howard, realizing something wasn't right, asked if everything was okay, to which I could only nod and mutter, "Thanks, I needed to see that," before walking back into the storm with the sound of my heartbeat louder than the thunder. And I didn't go back home that night. Instead, I drove aimlessly for hours, parked in an empty lot, and cried like a child, not because she cheated, but because of the level of planning, the way she had orchestrated everything, encouraging me to work overtime just to make time for him, kissing me goodbye while texting him hello, using the very schedule she pretended to support as a shield for her lies. The next day, I returned when I knew she was out, packed a suitcase, took my passport, my documents, and went straight to my lawyer, who agreed that we'd need proof, more than just camera footage. So I played the game, returned home that night pretending like nothing happened, kissed her on the cheek, said work was exhausting, and over the next 2 weeks, I became the husband she thought she had broken, quiet, obedient, gullible, but I was collecting every breadcrumb, installing my own discreet cameras, syncing our devices, watching her schedule closely, and soon I had everything. Pictures of them together at the gym, videos of him entering through the back door while I was supposedly working late, even receipts for fancy dinners charged to my joint credit card while she told me she was at book club. And when I had enough, I planned my revenge not with rage, but with strategy. I booked a couple's weekend getaway for our reconnection, sent her flowers, wrote her a fake letter saying how much I appreciated her sacrifices, Then gave her a spa day while I emptied half our accounts into a separate one, filed for divorce through my lawyer, and sent a package to both her family and his wife. Yes, he was married too, with everything they needed to know. Photos, footage, screenshots, timestamps, receipts, even the audio clips I secretly recorded of them planning to meet while I was at work. The day she got the papers, she broke down, crying, begging, gasping for mercy, claiming it was a mistake, that she was lonely, that it didn't mean anything. But I just stood there and said the words I had been dying to say. You encouraged me to work overtime, just so you could screw him in my house. Enjoy your freedom, Emily, because I've already taken mine, and walked out, slamming the door on everything we ever were. She tried to save face, telling friends it was mutual. But when the footage leaked, courtesy of Mr. Howard, who proudly supported my escape, everyone knew the truth, and the man she cheated with? His wife kicked him out, his gym membership got revoked, and last I heard, he moved to another city in shame, while Emily tried to rebuild her image on Instagram, posting fake motivational quotes about healing and strength. But deep down I know, every time she hears a doorbell or sees a camera blinking, she remembers how her lies were caught by the very eyes she never noticed watching. As for me, I took some time off, traveled, healed, met someone kind, someone honest, and now every time I look into her eyes, I'm reminded of what love is supposed to feel like. Not control, not betrayal, but peace. And though I'll never forget what happened, I no longer carry the weight of that betrayal, because I turned my pain into power, my heartbreak into clarity, and walked away from that burning house without ever looking back.